Hello, and welcome back to the Creative Differences Podcast. I'm Dallas, and this isn't going to be a good episode. It's going to be a great episode.
I'm Gabby, and I once again did not do my homework. It's, twice now. Let's go.
I'm Demi, and welcome to Double D. No, I'm kidding. Welcome to Creative Differences Podcast, your one-stop shop for movie reviews, Fancast Fridays, Throwback Thursdays, and a number of other pop culture-related items. Today, we are doing a movie review for Free Guy.
Yes, we are. Colin isn't here because he hates the things we like.
Dallas.
I'm sorry, what?
Terrible. I love you, Colin.
Yeah, same. Colin, you're great. But,
He's not here.
you're not here. Anyway,
And
before we
probably
get into
won't listen to this later either.
Oh, you don't know that.
he's going to message like, I heard it. Yeah, before we get into this one movie and all the stuff we've been talking about and watching, please like and subscribe because it's just a nice thing to do. And, you should be nice.
See.
Right?
That's the way to put it.
I mean, should you not be nice?
You should.
Exactly.
All right.
Free Guy. Free Guy is directed by Sean Levy, who directed Big Fat Liar, Cheaper by the Dozen, and Not at the Museum, the series.
Shout out to him.
Turns out I love his work.
Right?
Yep. Yep.
It is written by Matt Lieberman and Zach Penn. Matt wrote The Christmas Chronicles, The Addams Family 2019, and Scoob.
Why isn't this movie a children's movie?
We'll circle back to that. And Zach Penn, who wrote X-Men The Last Stand, The Incredible Hulk, and Ready Player One, and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah,
But,
this is a step up for both of them.
I agree.
Not to say I dislike their other movies. I'm just saying I feel like this is just the best out of all of those.
Although I read that Zach Penn was an uncredited writer on Men in Black, so
Oh, that makes
shout
sense.
out to him. It stars Ryan Reynolds, Jodie Comer, Lil Rel Howery, Joe Keery, Taika Waititi, and Utkarsh Mbudkar.
Oh my God. I love
We love you,
him.
Big fans here at the show.
Of course. IMDb summary states, a bank teller discovers that he's actually an NPC inside a brutal open world video game. Yep, that is what the movie's about.
That's
Yep.
it.
So yes, this is definitely not a kid's movie, but relative to other Ryan Reynolds movies,
Yeah.
it kind of feels like one.
I felt very comfortable taking my 12-year-old brother to go see this movie.
Yeah, I remember
Wow,
finding
okay.
out this movie's PG-13 and I was surprised. Like,
Actually,
like why? Ryan Reynolds.
I don't know if I'd say I was very comfortable. There were a few moments where I was like, we're pushing it here. But
Yeah, it's not for kids, but it's not Deadpool. It's not Hitman's Bodyguard.
yeah.
It's not on that level, which,
Yeah.
hence the PG-13 rating. But it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Since I saw the trailer, 3 years ago, whenever this movie was supposed
Who
to
knows?
come out, I love the premise. I saw Ryan Reynolds and I was already hyped. I was already in, and then I realized he's playing an NPC, and I thought that is amazing. That is such a hilarious premise. I love it. And they went in some directions I didn't expect.
Yeah.
It got a lot deeper than just, oh, he's in a video game and he didn't know he's in a video game. They got some big questions.
There's some
And-
existential questions
Yeah.
in this movie.
Yeah, like
Oh.
what is
As you should.
it to be alive?
Yeah.
Kind of.
mean?
I was like, okay.
What does it mean to be real?
Right. I was like, oh, we're doing a Wreck-It Ralph thing. It's like, oh no, this is much more than that.
Which, like, I feel like it's a good thing then that, like, a movie that's for adults is asking big questions versus, like, a children's film. Because I feel like Pixar does that a lot.
Oh
and
yeah.
I'm like, this is for kids.
Honestly, in a different world, this could be a Pixar movie because they
probably.
do the, what if toys were alive? What if cars were alive? What if
NPCs were alive?
exactly? What if I'm surprised Pixar hasn't made this movie yet.
Right?
You know what? Still owned by Disney.
Exactly. They're like, we'll just
Yeah,
we'll just buy Fox. It's
You're
fine.
right. You're right.
When they do it, we'll have it. To me, what'd you think about in
Uh,
general?
Well, my thoughts were Free Guy is not a good movie. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sean Levy, who like literally just has been making fun movie and television shows just like throughout his career. And I felt like this movie, a lot of the reason why I liked it was like it felt like the Lego movie meets Deadpool, but a video game.
I could see that. I feel it.
Had some similar kind of vibes to it.
Yeah. Ryan's character, Guy, aptly named, is, first of all, Ryan is always a delight.
Yes.
But for most of this one, he's playing pretty against type because Ryan is typically just, vulgar, sarcastic, and violent.
Yes.
But this version, he's just so innocent and happy-go-lucky. At least when we start,
Yes.
this one reminds me of Spy because Melissa McCarthy is usually vulgar, offensive, sarcastic. But in the beginning of Spy, she's this kind of unassuming, nice lady. And then she kind of has to put on the typical Melissa McCarthy character as we go on. And Ryan, there's a touch of that with this, like as the movie progresses and, more stuff happens. But I think for the most part, Guy's just an innocent, sweet, sweet man.
So I agree that this character is very much innocent, naive, all that stuff. I still think it fits within Ryan Reynolds'
type
niche because it's still, the way that I described it to my dad was the acting style that Ryan Reynolds uses to play Deadpool and the other characters that he plays as vulgar and all those things. He still applies that to Guy.
Yeah.
It's like still like a similar attitude, a similar way of line delivery. There were times where there's like a thing that Ryan Reynolds does where like if he has to make like a simile or like an analogy of some sort, at the end of the sentence, I'm like, Ryan Reynolds probably improv that on the spot because there's just a way that Ryan Reynolds does things that I'm just like, that's just Ryan Reynolds. So it still felt like Guy still fits into the Deadpool, to the character he plays in Hitman's Bodyguard. It still fit. It was just that his personality traits were different. Yeah. But he still applied the same acting methods.
Yeah, his acting style is very, very, we see it. Yeah. Like, this is a perfect role for him.
But I'm really glad that this is not a complaint. I'm just saying that that's how Ryan Reynolds acts. And I think that it's really great that he's kind of found his niche. And it's a very entertaining one to me. And I think he takes what makes him so charming as Deadpool and he applies it to a more lovable and naive character as Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, outside of Ryan Reynolds, who is great. There are other people in this movie, though. I am officially a Jodie Comer fan.
She's
after this movie.
Amazing.
I apparently need to go watch Killing Eve.
Dude, she's so scary, but so great in that show.
She's so likable in this movie. She has like a presence to her, I feel like. She's on screen and I'm like, you're just great. And I appreciate you. I like you. I loved seeing Joe Keery in something that is
not Stranger Things.
Yeah. And in a role that is completely different from Steve Harrington. He's like an adorable nerd in this movie, which Steve Harrington
but still has great hair, right?
Yeah, still has great hair. But is not quite a nerd on Stranger Things. Laura Howery is just so great as the best friend no matter what movie.
First of all, I love that his name is Buddy.
Yes.
And just the relationship between Guy and Buddy is so pure. I love it.
What a great friendship.
It's so great from the beginning to the end. Everything about it is just so sweet.
I was just like,
shout out to Buddy.
I was like, man, like he's a great friend in Get Out, and now he's a great friend in Free Guy.
He's who you want on your
two very different situations, but I'm a great friend. I kind of want him to be the lead at some point.
I could see that, definitely.
That would be great.
Wait,
I would like him to see him be a lead and not just somebody's best friend in a movie.
Yeah,
because he's so funny.
I think he had his own show,
he did.
He had like a basketball movie
that
he was
familiar.
in.
He did, yeah. And then obviously Utkarsh, who we are a fan of here, and Taika Waititi, who I am a huge fan of, and I think most of us here are fans of.
Yes.
They are both hilarious in this movie. Even though Taika's the bad guy, he's still like super freaking amusing.
So if I do have a complaint about this movie, it's not Taika, but it's Taika's character.
The way that he's portrayed.
Yeah, so Antoine, I get what they're going for. It's a very clear, he's kind of a straw man for like the big bad video game exec.
Yeah.
I just care about money. I don't care about creativity. I don't care about the fans. They turn that knob up to 11.
Yeah.
And if you don't want the character to have nuance, I get that. But it's just, if it wasn't Taika, this would not be an interesting character to me.
And that's why I'm okay with it, because it is Taika.
Right. Taika's performance saved this character. But just looking at the character, I'm just like, all right, man. At a certain point, I'm just thinking, the decisions you're making don't even make sense for you at this point. Some of them were just, I'm just going to do this. I'm like, but wait, that doesn't, like, how is it in your interest to, but it's fine.
Homie don't care.
He don't care. And some of his jokes I felt like didn't land for me, but, Taika delivered it as well as he could because he's Taika. He's great. But I just feel like he deserved better than what Antoine was. Utkarsh was great, though. Like, I needed more of him because when the movie starts, he's in there pretty early with Joe Keery.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, is he going to be in a lot of this? I would love that.
He's actually in it more than I thought he was going to be, to be honest.
I'm glad that he was. I always want more of him.
I think Joe Keery is actually in this movie a lot more than I thought he was going to be.
He had a much bigger role than I expected, which is funny because the trailers gave up so much of the story that I was glad that I was still able to be surprised.
I feel like I don't remember any of the trailers.
Except for
like 3
or 4 trailers. Yeah.
Except for Fantasy playing in them. I don't think I remember. Maybe I never saw a trailer all the way through.
But
I mostly just remember Mariah.
I remember Mariah Carey.
she was
and that's
memorable.
it.
But speaking of Mariah Carey, the soundtrack.
Soundtrack slaps.
I liked it way more than I expected. I just thought it's gonna be okay. He wakes up to Mariah Carey, and then we get some video gamey music. This movie has the Humpty dance in it.
Yeah.
What?
And I was so shocked.
That's amazing.
Yes,
I
was
love
shocked.
the Humpty dance.
It's so good. Rest in peace to Shock G. We love you.
Yes, rest in peace.
But yeah, when he steps out in those shoes and the song starts, I was like, oh my God. And then there's the one song by Logic that I meant to look up, but I can't remember. It's the song that starts Hobbs and Shaw. When the opening
I don't know
title
what the
comes
name of
on.
that
But I don't
song is,
remember. I
though.
was like, oh, that's cool. But great soundtrack.
Also, I just want to thank Ryan Reynolds for the consistent usage of Fantasy by Mariah Carey in this movie. I thought it was just going to be a trailer thing. It's throughout this film.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
I love it.
Mhm.
Also,
And-
shout out to Jodie Comer, who does she's the one who does the cover of it later on in the film. She's the one singing it.
Ooh, What?
Oh, I
Jodie
forgot about
Comer
that.
can sing?
I found that out too.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was not only a bigger part of the movie, but it's diegetic and actually ties to the story in a way
Yes.
that I didn't expect, which was nice. The cameos were amazing.
Cameos are amazing.
There are vocal cameos and
actual
on-screen cameos.
What?
Yeah,
that third act, I literally was cheering in my theater,
Yo.
bro.
And that one is the best because it is
And not just the
It's-
cameo, that whole situation.
right. It's an
is
Easter
just,
egg cameo music cue combo.
that could
Because
only
the first thing that happens,
'Cause
we're
it-
like,
yes.
is that what? And I was like, that looks okay. And then the music plays, and Kayla and I are cheering, and then
Yep.
we see the cameo, and we just started cheering louder. We
and then we
screamed.
got the next part, which also had another reference,
Right.
which I started cheering for. Like literally, I was just like, "This is
I
this
missed
entire
out.
like 2 minutes of film,
Mhm.
which also could not have been done without Disney buying Fox, because
Right.
you know that they had to remake that ending in order to include all that stuff in there. That alone was worth the ticket price.
It's funny because I watched that and I just thought, wow, everything I liked about Ready Player One, this movie did it in like 30 seconds
Exactly.
with just these two things. But yeah, that was fantastic. And
So I missed out. Is what you're.
you definitely
You have to go see it.
You need to see it.
There's a point in the movie where I was like, Gabby has to see this
Yeah.
movie.
I feel like Christoph Evans is in this.
Christoph Evans. Is that what we call him now?
Is that okay?
I'm just gonna
I don't
call him that.
Yeah, Christoph. Why not?
Last notes that I want to give. I was actually heavily invested in the romantic plotline, and no, it's not the one that you guys think it is.
What?
I really liked the look of the world. Like, I like that this movie went the Jumanji route and not the Ready Player One route. Where the Ready Player One route was, we make everything look kind of photorealistic, but still digital enough that it's like this is a video game.
Okay.
Whereas Free Guy did what Jumanji did, which was everything's gonna look real.
Right.
We're in this universe, everything's gonna look real within the universe.
Right.
But I also thought it was really cool that when you were looking at this universe from our world,
Mm-hmm.
it looked like a video game.
Right. We're seeing how they see it. They see him as a video game
Yeah.
character. He sees himself as real, obviously, because to him, he's real.
Yeah.
So everything in the world needs to look real.
And so
That
when
was
you
cool.
go into the game, it looks real. But then when he puts on the glasses,
Mm-hmm.
you've got the cool like neon CGI signs that they've put up, which I also
Yeah.
thought was really awesome.
They did a really good
I
job.
thought that was a cool way of like making a distinction between the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought it was really cool, like I thought the inclusion of the game streamers was actually really well done in
Yeah.
this movie. Normally, I would not notice anything like that because I don't watch game streamers. But my
Same.
12-year-old brother obviously is a Gen Zer, so he spends a lot of time on his iPad watching YouTube and watching streamers and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So halfway through the movie, he leaned over to me and he goes, "Wow, they got a lot of YouTube streamers for this movie." And then at the end of the movie, during the credits, when we were looking at it and we saw the big name cameos that you were talking about, it was
Right.
so funny because for me, I'm like, yeah, they got like big names. Wow.
Mhm.
And he's like, wow, they must have spent a lot of money on this movie because they got a lot of really famous actors and they got a lot of famous YouTubers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the fact that like you include YouTubers in that, like, it's totally a different world now. But obviously, I think they did a really good job of that. I wouldn't have noticed otherwise, but
Yeah.
my little brother thought it was really cool to have people that he watches
Mhm.
regularly.
Which I
That's
think they
really
should.
cool.
Yeah, like if you're going to make this movie based on that world, and it has a lot of ties to video game industry and all that stuff, you
Yeah.
should acknowledge the people who are big in that world. Like, do it for their fans too.
Yeah.
Also, last thing. So we were talking off mic about how we don't think Colin would like this movie.
Yeah.
But then there's one part toward the beginning when one of the character basically dresses like a furry, and I thought maybe Colin would like this movie.
Oh my goodness.
Stop it! Stop it right now.
He's not here to defend himself.
And that was the first out of 2 times that I looked over at Kayla. I was like, Gabby should see this movie.
Stop it! No.
I just, I had to think of my furry friends when this stuff comes on screen.
Man, if Chrysanthemum's in this, I'm gonna be so happy.
Why are you calling this man out his name
Right.
anyway?
Christoph, Chrysanthemum.
So clearly me and Dallas
Y'all know who I mean.
clearly me and Dallas both really liked this movie.
Yes.
I would
fantastic.
highly recommend it. My 12-year-old brother says it's his favorite movie of all time now.
That's awesome.
And he was really looking forward to this. So I'm glad it was PG-13 because otherwise I would not have taken it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, good times. I recommend it for
Nice.
video game fans and furries like Colin and Gabby.
Stop it.
What you been watching? What you been doing?
Yeah. Let's see.
Let's move on.
Gabby,
Yes.
nothing.
No, I'm
She's been working 9 to 5.
I'm also just like
All right,
not
Dolly
finding joy in a lot of things lately. So
Tried to give it a little R&B twist, you know.
Yes.
working 9 to 5. Okay. Yeah. So no, nothing.
Dallas,
All right.
what you got?
What I got. Dave. Dave just finished season 2. And man, Gabby, what episode are you on? 1, 2, 0? She's shaking her head. I don't know if she knows. So I'm going to be really careful what I say. But anyway, Dave was created by Dave Bird, a.k.a. Lil Dicky, and
Hey.
Jeff Schaefer, who created The League and directed Eurotrip.
Yeah. Scotty doesn't know.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Why did
That's
we have
the
a
second
full-on
day in a row that
singing?
somebody has sang that song.
We sang that together, the whole thing, for no reason yesterday.
Yes.
I have no idea how
We
it
had a
started.
nice little Eurotrip moment yesterday. Anyway, it stars Lil Dicky, Taylor Mishak, Gata, Andrew Santino, Travis Bennet, and Christine Coe. Everyone is great. Season 2 doesn't have nearly enough Taylor Mishak for me, but we did get more focus on Gata, so that was nice because I love Gata and I want him to prosper in everything that he does. But also, he gets so much more to do this season because he's the hype man and he's funny. But, season 1, remember, we found out he's bipolar and we got that whole thing. But there's more about his relationship with Dave. And the season this time wasn't as funny,
Oh,
but they went a lot harder with the drama.
Oh, they
Ooh.
went
I
the
didn't
Atlanta
expect
route?
it. Yeah, but I was not.
nice.
I was not ready. There were so many moments.
I love the drama.
Yeah, there's so many moments where, and I watch every episode with Jordan, and we just look at each other like, where are they going? What are they doing this season? This isn't what we were ready for. But I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it in a different way. One of the characters just feels so much worse than in season 1, like to the point where it was just frustrating to follow. Sometimes in Atlanta, Earn will just start acting like a jackass for no reason.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's just like, come on, Earn. We want to root for you, but you're making it difficult.
Yeah.
Dave does that a lot.
Oh.
And we got hints of that in the end of season 1. But it's just, he has so many opportunities to be better. And then for the most part, he doesn't. But season 2, the finale ends with a redemption arc that is so fantastic. And it plays out in pretty much one scene. And just the fact that they were able to do that, the writing is
Wow.
fantastic. I think Lil Dicky wrote the finale. So shout out to him. It was directed by Alma Harrell, who made
Hey.
Honey Boy. She's great.
Nice.
We were fans of Honey Boy. You guys can go check out our review for that if you have not seen the movie yet or if you just want to check it out.
Yeah, go check it out. You ain't doing nothing. But
We're assuming.
Yeah, if you happened upon this and decided to listen to it.
Yeah, you've just been sitting here listening to us for who knows how long, so go listen to that. But yeah, Dave, I don't know if I'd say it's a great time because it definitely gets heavy in some places, but it has its moments. It's still funny, more drama. Gata is fantastic. But yeah, season 3, I need more Allie. So Dave or Jeff, whoever I gotta talk to, Taylor, get me more Allie in season 3, or we're gonna have a problem. All right, to me, what you got?
All right, so I watched Schmigadoon, which you guys can
Schmigadoon.
find on Apple TV+. Schmigadoon is directed by Barry Sonnenfeld, the man who gave us Men in Black.
Awesome.
It was created by Ken Dario and Cinco Paul, and it's executive produced by Lorne Michaels, the man who gives us Saturday Night Live. And it stars Keegan-Michael Key and Cecily Strong, and it features Fred Armisen, Dove Cameron, Jaime Camille, Kristen Chenoweth, Alan Cumming, Ariana DeBose, Anne Harada, Jane Krakowski, and Aaron Tveit. In the summary, a couple going through counseling discovers a magical town in which everyone acts like they're in a musical from the 1940s, and the only way they can leave is true love.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
This show is absolutely fantastic. It is so delightful to watch. I personally am a musical fan. The Sound of Music was probably the first favorite movie I ever had in my life. So this really appeals to my love of musicals, of musical theater. It's great. It's fantastic. It's a really fun show. I don't know. I feel like it's just one of those shows that makes you feel happy, but it's also well done at the same time.
Nice.
Sometimes I'll call like certain shows like comfort food.
Right.
Like this is like kind of that, but it's actually really, really good for you too. Also, if you're not a musical fan though, like I feel like you can still like this show because Keegan-Michael Key's character is the type of person who hates musicals.
Oh, fun.
So it's really fun because you get into this world where everybody's singing randomly. And he's just like, no, please, no song. You don't have to sing. Please don't.
Lovely.
And it's also really fun because the characters within this 1940s town don't realize that they're in a musical.
Okay.
So if they're singing something, they don't acknowledge the fact that they've just sung a song.
Nice.
Wow.
It's so much fun. I love Cecily Strong and Keegan-Michael Key, both from different avenues. I thought Cecily Strong is really great on SNL. And Keegan-Michael Key is just a really funny dude. And I've loved him in other things that he's acted in. So to see them together and to bring those comedy chops together is really, really dope.
Nice.
And then on top of that, I think every single musical number done on this show is done live.
Interesting.
Which I love. You guys have heard me complain about this before. If you're going to do a musical, cast people who can sing.
Yes, you should. Definitely.
And we've had problems in the past with that before.
Yeah.
This show, most of the people who are in the show are like theatrical performers. They have done musical theater. They've done it live before. These are people who do this for a living.
Yeah.
So when they're singing live, it sounds amazing. And you wouldn't even know that they're singing live. Because I didn't know that until 2 episodes in. And I was like, they're singing every song live? there's quite a bit in here to be doing that live. But I'm also a fan of a lot of the people on the show. Dove Cameron, Kristen Chenoweth, for instance. Ariana DeBose, who I'm looking forward to seeing in West Side Story. She's playing Anita. All these people are just so talented. And then Cecily Strong and Keegan-Michael Key, who aren't from musical theater backgrounds, but they have good enough voices to keep up with everybody at least. But it also makes sense because these are 2 people who are from the real world. So they don't need to be as good of singers as the actual musical theater performers.
Right.
Yeah.
They just have to be like good enough that we like listening to them.
They can carry tunes.
They can
in
carry
a
it
bucket.
too. But Cecily, I've known that Cecily can sing though because she's sung on Saturday Night Live on several occasions.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh yeah, that's expected. I was not expecting Keegan-Michael Key to sing as well as he does.
Right.
Do a great job of it. So yeah, also all the songs are really well written. They are written very similarly to songs that you would hear in 1940s musicals.
All right.
But they're also really, really funny because the show is not just a tribute to those musicals, but also like kind of like a sharp critique of them at the same time.
Like a spoof? Or
And not so much a spoof, but every so often they'll make a comment about like, oh man, women in the 1940s were so underwritten, like stuff like that. Like, so it's
great.
It's very self-aware,
Got it.
but it's also a tribute to those musicals. It's kind of like, I love this show for this kind of a similar reason why I love WandaVision, where WandaVision was kind of a tribute to sitcoms.
Right.
This felt like a tribute to old musicals.
Got it.
Makes sense.
And I really liked that about it. So yeah. Schmigadoon, if you have Apple TV Plus, you guys can check it out there. It is only 6 episodes, and each episode is about 30 minutes long. The
Nice.
entire season's already done.
Okay.
Dope. Easy binge.
It is super easy binge. News.
We have news
News.
for you people. Number 1, Idris Elba is playing Knuckles in Sonic the Hedgehog 2, or whatever that movie is going to be called when it comes out.
Which is a choice, but I'm here for it.
It is a great choice. So yeah, one day, sitting at my desk, wishing I wasn't there, and I'm scrolling through Twitter because...
That's what you do when you're bored.
Exactly. I just see a tweet that says knock knock, and it's Idris Elba, and he just posted a picture of Knuckles' fist, and it says hashtag Sonic Movie 2, hashtag Knuckles. And oh my God, the internet blew up.
Yeah. Well, it's a surprising choice.
It's interesting because I feel like Knuckles is a character where a lot of choices would be surprising, but Idris is just such a big name. I did not expect them to go for that, but I love that they did. And also, he's really been getting in his voice acting bag since I think Zootopia came out.
For real.
Like he was in Zootopia, then he was in Finding Dory,
Yeah.
something else at some point. He's enjoying himself.
He's also in Jungle Book, remember?
Yeah.
That was
He
before all
likes-
that, I think. Wasn't it? Or was that the same year?
Jungle Book might have been before Zootopia, or it might have been the
Actually,
same.
I think they might be
2016.
2016. They were the same year. Yeah.
And all of those are Disney movies?
Yeah.
All right, Idris. Yeah, he's stepping out. He's stepping out of his, he likes animals. That's cool.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. I think it was shocking to me because the guy who plays Sonic isn't like a huge name.
No, what's his name again?
Ben Schwartz.
Ben Schwartz. I do like him. He's very funny.
Ben Schwartz is amazing.
Actually, I feel like looks like he's more of a voice actor than he is. Like, he does live action stuff too, but he also does a lot of voice work. So
he has a voice for that. He's very animated.
Yeah.
He has that.
But it's John Ralphio. Don't be suspicious.
He is John Ralphio.
Don't be suspicious. Don't.
But yeah, I didn't see the first Sonic movie, mostly because the only interest I've ever had in Sonic was like when I was in middle school. I used to play Sonic games with a lot of my guy friends on their Game Boys when we were during like our summer program.
Yeah.
Game Boy. Sorry. I just had an influx of memories.
Just aging myself right now. But yeah, we used to play this Sonic game, and I had a couple of Sonic games on like other devices as well. I think I had a Sonic game for my GameCube. Again, aging myself, but Sonic wasn't like something I was super into. But I do care about my boy Tails, and that's like I might go back to watch the first one to see the second one just so I can see my boy Tails, because I love Tails, man. He's great.
I guess the post or credits, mid credits, whatever it is, I guess suggest at least that Tails will be in the next one.
He better be in the next one. That's what I want. Actually, I think there's been some set photos too, and you gotta have the little stand-ins, and I think they've had Tails ones standing in as well. Oh. My boy Tails is coming to the big screen.
Yay!
But any choice for Idris Elba is a fantastic choice because he's great. And my first thought was, is he gonna be British? But then I thought Idris can do an American accent super well, so he doesn't need to be British.
He's been able to do an American accent super well since like the 90s.
Exactly. Yeah, Knuckles is my guy in Sonic. I never played the game very much, but I always thought that red dude's really cool. Idris and Sonic. I like it.
I think I used to watch some Sonic cartoons, like Saturday morning cartoons, occasionally.
With Urkel?
What?
Jaleel White voiced
Possibly,
Sonic.
yeah. That might have been it.
He was the voice of Sonic. So shout out to Jaleel White.
Nice.
Word up.
But yeah, that's Knuckles.
Cool.
That's Idris. Next thing is Chloe Bennet is not Blossom anymore. She exited the Powerpuff Girls due to scheduling conflicts.
Oh, that's
which is funny because her IMDb profile does not currently have anything lined up for her. So whatever it is,
it's a surprise.
Has not been announced.
Chloe Bennet, Demi is calling you a liar.
I'm not calling her a liar. That's actually not what I'm saying. In fact, I love Chloe Bennet. Chloe Bennet is a favorite actress of mine because of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is the reason why I'm curious, because she has nothing lined up officially on her IMDb page. Last thing I saw her in was her playing Daisy Johnson, a.k.a. Quake, who should be an Avenger, in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And last time I checked, Secret Invasion is starting to film real soon.
Ooh.
I'm trying not to get my hopes high because Marvel disappoints me constantly. But
damn, girl. But you're right.
But that's not true. I really love Marvel movies, but on occasion, I'm just like, when it comes to the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I'm consistently disappointed. Only because they have not been included in the bigger Marvel universe yet. And if it turns out that Chloe Bennet left Powerpuff to be Daisy Johnson again in Secret Invasion, I will freak out. I might cry. I have been begging for the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to show up in the MCU movies since 2013. So, when the show started, I'm excited at that idea, but I'm also trying to kill all the hope that I have in me because I've been disappointed before.
Yeah.
Whatever it is that is causing scheduling conflicts for Chloe, though, I am excited for it because I am a huge fan of hers. So whatever it is, I will probably be pumped and hyped for it because I just want to support Chloe. She was one out of 2 reasons I was excited for this show.
The other was Dove Cameron, right?
The other was Dove Cameron.
Sorry, Buttercup.
Actually, she's Bubbles.
I know. I'm saying sorry to Buttercup because she's the only reason that.
I mean,
only one you left out.
She seems like a newcomer. I think she's a newcomer. I think she's a musical theater actress, actually.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Maybe Buttercup will sing.
All 3 of them could have sang. They're all singers.
I didn't know Chloe Bennet was a singer.
Chloe Bennet used to be a Chinese pop star.
What?
Dope. That's fun.
Wow.
Okay. I will show you the evidence later.
So yeah, this is an interesting thing for me because this show, I don't have a lot of high hopes for CW content in general. No offense to the CW. It's just not really my bag usually.
I don't think you're their demographic, to be fair.
You're not. It's definitely teenage girls.
Yeah, I don't
and
think
middle school girls.
Except for the DC content.
Yeah, which is for the DC peoples. I was thinking like of Riverdale.
No, that's not me. That ain't me. But Powerpuff was an interesting concept to me because despite our generation's knee-jerk reaction to hate anything that is like
Nostalgic.
it's weird. Like they love nostalgia, but if you try to redo something from our childhood, then they want to kill you. And I don't feel like that. I think this show could be interesting. I haven't heard a lot about it that makes me excited. Like the fact that I guess Mojo Jojo is just a dude. But whatever.
That bummed me out.
I heard
Yeah.
the script
What's the
wasn't that good. But I
Yeah,
mean,
so-
to be fair, the executives at CW were like, the pilot was a miss, and we're gonna try it again until
Yeah.
we get it right.
Which is like brave of them to be willing to just rework it instead of scrapping it altogether, I feel like.
Especially
Right.
since you already spent money on that.
Yeah, like I would have just been like, nope, passing on the pilot. Let's move on.
But yeah, I like Powerpuff Girls when I was a kid, and it's one of the most insane shows that came out of our childhood.
Dude, it was so
that
great.
show is ridiculous, and it was. I want to say it was
Remember
only
him?
exactly. I want to say it was only bound by the fact that it was targeted at kids, but barely. Like they did stuff in there that probably ruined some children.
Lil Nas X for
Cerebellum.
him.
Or like sexual awakenings, hashtag cerebellum.
See, this is why I want to see the show. I'm like, what are y'all gonna do with Cerebellum? Because I
Right?
need to know.
They cast somebody for her.
Yeah, and I
Oh.
don't remember.
Also, Donald Faison is Professor Utonium.
Yeah,
Whoa.
that sounds really interesting. So that's it.
Oh,
There's
this
things
is a
about it
lot.
that make me curious. There's things that make me a little apprehensive, and I just want to see what they're gonna do. When you're not tied to this is for kids,
Yeah.
then you can push it that little. It was only an inch away from not being for kids in the first place.
That's
But
true.
I
It
wanna
was a
see what
very
they're gonna
violent
do.
show.
And I'm always a fan of if you're going to bring back something that was targeted to a certain generation. I like when you age it up for that generation.
Yeah, like they're doing
Yeah.
with iCarly right now.
Right. Like
yeah, but they refuse to do with Liz McGuire, but we're not going to get into it. Let's move on.
yeah, like, I don't know. It's a whole thing.
Different company, guys.
Disney, what's up? This is not Disney. This is CW. We'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to seeing who plays Blossom now.
Yeah, they're
And-
gonna start recasting.
Yeah, I think in the fall or something.
Yeah.
More importantly, what y'all gonna do with Cerebellum? Let's see how that works out.
I mean, they got an actress for it, so. But yeah, this is definitely one of those shows where I wouldn't say that I'm super excited about it, but I am intrigued at the idea, and I was willing to, and am willing to give it a shot, like at least once, just to see what it's
Yeah.
about.
Just to give it a shot. Just be like, oh, okay, that's all right.
Let
Maybe
me
we
see
like
if
it.
it's
Maybe
for
we
me.
don't.
Yeah,
But I don't want to hate it because it was announced. Like everybody were like,
we don't like doing that here.
no.
I was like, why is this necessary? But
Why
I
is
don't
any
care
show
enough about
necessary?
this, to be honest, to care, to like ask more than like why.
Yeah. It's just everyone's so quick to.
We try to be
"This is bad."
positive here on this podcast.
Exactly. That's what we're about. Positivity here, and we're about talking about things we like
Speaking
and
of
not insulting things.
being positive and not insulting things, Netflix's live action Avatar The Last Airbender has found its cast.
And on that note, as I was saying, we like to be positive. We like to not insult things. That's why Colin's not here today. Anyway, yes, back to them taking things from our childhood and live actioning them. They found the cast, like Demi said. I don't know these people, but I'm happy for them. Gordon Cormier. Cormier?
I don't know.
Yeah. He's set to play Aang. He's in Lost in Space and The Stand. I've heard good things about both of those things.
Yeah,
But I
Lost in
ain't seen
Space is good.
none of them.
Maybe it's Cormier.
Kia Winthio?
You're asking me questions that I don't.
I'm not
I don't
asking you.
know.
I'm just saying them to the best of my ability. And Demi is shaking her head like, bro, I can't help you.
I can't.
But yes, Keo and Theo.
Let's look it up.
We're past that.
No,
Will
we're past
portray teenage waterbending prodigy Katara, aka Gabby,
Yes.
and she's in Anne with an E and What If.
I've heard Anne with an E is really good.
It is. My mom's obsessed with it.
Dope. Shout out to
She
Katara.
she got all of her like siblings into it too.
Ian Ousley.
Owsley?
I don't know.
I feel like it's Owsley. I'm getting Owsley vibes.
Ousley. Ian Ousley. He is Sokka, and he's in 13 Reasons Why and Sorry for Your Loss. I have heard things about 13 Reasons Why. Don't need to say whether they were good or bad because we're about positivity here. And Zuko is going to be played by Dallas Liu, which I never get to say someone named Dallas is playing a character, so that's dope.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah,
He's
shout out
your
to Zuko.
tocayo.
Exactly. Anyway, like I said, I've never heard of any of these people. But
He's
I'm
going to
happy
be in
for them.
Shang-Chi.
Dallas?
Yep.
Exciting.
Nice.
As
He's-
who?
I don't know. It doesn't say here. It doesn't list.
Hmm.
He could be younger Shang-Chi.
That's true. He might be. I know nothing about Shang-Chi, the comics or the movies. But yeah, happy for all these people. I apologize for not knowing how to say any of your names.
Yeah, we might have butchered those. Sorry.
Yeah,
We're
probably.
really, really sorry, guys.
But we'll learn how to say them as time goes on.
Yes, because eventually the show will come out and people will start doing interviews, and then we'll rush to YouTube before we record our podcast and look up interviews of you guys saying your names, because that's our mode of operation here.
That's what we do here.
Yes.
See.
But yeah, I'm actually excited for this because I like Avatar, and I want more of it.
Yeah, I think my
It's pretty much
only
that simple
like
for me.
moment where I'm like a little bit uneasy is that the original creators did like back out of the project.
Yeah.
That is the only thing that would make me hesitant is the
So
fact that they left.
So I'm going to give it a chance, but I'm hesitantly going to watch it.
Yeah, definitely going to give it a shot. I'm also just really curious as to what creative things Netflix wanted to do that the creators didn't agree with.
Yeah.
Because
That's
it
why I'm
sounded like it was
concerned.
about the characters' ages, but that doesn't seem to be a problem because these kids are all the right ages, except for Dallas, who's like 20, and Sokka is not 20, but you know, he's
Dallas is Zuko.
yeah, the guy playing Zuko is about 20 years old, but you know, like that's not unusual. You usually get 20-year-olds to play 16-year-olds anyway.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
but the kid playing Aang is like 11. The girl playing Katara is like 14. Like
Right.
they're the right ages. So that's clearly not an issue that we needed to be worried about. Maybe it was at one point, but it doesn't seem to be now.
Nope.
So I don't know. I'm wondering what story changes or whatever Netflix wanted to have made that made the creators see eye to eye on it.
Yeah, and the fact that we don't know is why them leaving is not enough for me to just give up. Because as much as I would like to them to be attached to, this is their thing, they made it, I would like them to have creative control over it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because it would make me know that the live action version is actually going to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
that's why I'm concerned.
I don't think that the people who created something are the only ones who can tell a story well about it. So
That's true. I mean, we
them
read
not
comic
being-
books, so.
Exactly. Deadpool's been a character for 30 years. The people who created him, Rob Liefeld is not writing every Deadpool comic or movie now. People tell the stories well.
That's
so
fair.
just, they're not there. Oh, that sucks. But maybe the people who are there can still tell the story well. And I don't know why they left. So I'm just going to watch the show.
I
and
want to
if
say
it
that
sucks, it sucks.
the showrunner is an Asian man.
That's good. I mean, so is M. Night Shyamalan.
Fair.
So
That's a fair point that you make,
Yeah.
sir.
That's a really strong
Gosh,
point.
thank you for that counter argument.
but positivity.
Positive.
This is
Yeah.
a different
Speaking
Asian man.
of Avatar, though,
Mhm.
for anybody out there who is a fan of tabletop RPGs, there is currently one that is being put on Kickstarter right now. I think the game's called Avatar Legends. If you are interested in donating to a tabletop RPG to be made and then, you know, getting a reward back for donating, you guys should definitely check it out because the game sounds like it's going to be super dope to play. I already donated and I'm super excited because I'm going to try and get Dallas to play, but I definitely got Gabby and Colin on board to play. So
Yes. Blood benders.
live
will win.
out live out your bender fantasies, guys, and play a tabletop RPG when it comes out. All right, next piece of news. Atlanta season 3 coming early 2022.
Yay.
Yes, I'm so happy that we
Long
have
awaited.
a date for this because when did season 2 come out?
In 2018.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
2018?
Yeah, because that's when I met Brian Tyree Henry when season 2 was about to come out.
That is crazy. But yeah, this is my favorite show that's currently running. So I have been impatiently waiting for, I guess, 3 years at this point.
It'll be 4 years by
It
the
will
time
be 4
comes
by the
out.
time it comes out. And I just need
Yikes.
more Atlanta. So, you know, thanks guys for continuing to make the show because nobody knows anything about Donald Glover. One day he might
Except
just
for his inner circle.
ascend into space and not tell anybody. So
That's fair.
I'm hoping he stays around long enough to keep making this show.
And I think that's all we've got for you guys today.
See.
It sure is.
I mean, I could talk about them making a live action My Hero Academia, but
You could.
I don't know much about it except that they're making one and they found a director. And
You're
I-
like, this is it. That's it.
it's my favorite anime, and I don't know how I feel about them making a live action, but hopefully it'll be good because they got a really, really good director to direct it. So
Okay.
a really good Japanese director on top of that,
Nice.
which is dope.
That is dope. So
Yeah, so the director's name is, I believe it's pronounced Shinsuke Sato. He is the director of a movie called Kingdom, which apparently is doing really, really well. And he's also already done some live action adaptations.
you know which one?
Inuyashiki and Bleach.
I've heard of Bleach. I didn't know there was a live action version. But
Yeah, I didn't know there was a live action. of that.
And apparently made in 2019 or released in 2019.
Dope.
He also wrote and directed Netflix's series Alice in Borderland.
I've actually heard of that.
I have too.
I think I saw a trailer for that recently.
Yeah. So he's apparently a good director. So hopefully that means that the live action version of this will be good because I've heard that usually live action adaptations of animes don't come out really great.
Yeah.
Netflix has had a hand in that. I didn't watch Death Note, but I heard nothing good about it.
People are angry about that.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Weebs are passionate.
Yeah. But also, Avatar: The Last Airbender is like anime adjacent, and remember that live action?
Dallas, did you ever watch it?
I did actually.
You saw it?
Yeah, it was
nice.
funny.
I saw the first 10 minutes and I was like, this is not for me.
I saw it in theaters.
Oh no.
You saw it in theaters?
Me and Colin both
so
saw it
sorry.
in theaters.
I was supposed to, and then my mom was like, you can't go. You can't stay any longer. You've been at the mall too long. And then I had to leave. And so, yeah.
So your mom saved you.
Yeah, she did. I found out later.
All right, guys. That's all we've got for you today. Sorry, we ended on a kind of negative note. My bad.
Sorry.
Yes, shout out to anime, shout out to weebs. Everybody be positive. Like the things you like. If you like the last Airbender movie, that's cool too. Yeah, that's your business.
I don't know
Yeah.
anybody who does, though.
I don't think anyone does.
Somebody does.
Yeah.
Probably.
Do you know what it is? Somebody that didn't see the show loves it.
Probably.
I didn't love it. I definitely was like indifferent to that movie before I saw the TV show.
You hadn't seen the TV. Oh, you're one of.
Yeah, I just was
You're
super.
wonderful.
I was just super indifferent. I was
You're like
all
a
right,
unicorn.
that was a movie. I felt like Colin when he watches movies. I was like, yeah, that was a movie.
Wow, that must have been an interesting experience. Wow, I want to ask you more questions about this later.
I did nothing but thirst throughout the entire movie. Anyway,
Yeah, we're gonna
Now you
get
sound
into
like
it
Abby.
after this.
yeah.
Once again, Thirst Queen 2020.
There you go. Anyway, tune in next time. We're pretty sure that our next episode is going to be a fan cast for Wicked. So stay tuned.
Yes, so I have about a week to find out everything about these characters because I don't know anything about them except somebody's a witch.
It's not hard. We'll explain.
Several people are witches, and the soundtrack
See?
slaps.
Yeah,
Boom.
it does.
I'm just going to cast Tear into Mirror and make it twitches. Anyway, thank you, audience, for listening to all of that. As
It's a little too
always,
old, but all right.
I don't know, maybe. They're black. It's fine. Thank you to Crown Digital, Brandon, and Io for putting us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Demi, thank you for editing, putting us on YouTube, and joining me in my Free Guy Hype session. Gabby, thank you for fighting through your sleep deprivation and prioritizing our podcast over your health.
You're welcome.
Colin, thank you for nothing. You're not here. Anyway, audience, what do you guys think of Free Guy? What do you think of anime adaptations, nostalgia, the Powerpuff Girls? Let us know. All these things. You can find us on Instagram and Tumblr at Creative Differences Podcast, Facebook.com/Creative Differences PC, and Twitter
You've
at
been
y'all
skip-
underscore.
You've been missing the Twitter one recently.
Have I?
Last 2 episodes.
What's up with Twitter? You find us on Twitter
It's a
at
dark
y'all
place.
underscore different. Yeah, Twitter's a crazy place. Don't go there. But also go there because we need engagement. If you want to talk to me about how great Ryan Reynolds is, hit me up on Twitter or Instagram at a king named Simba.
You can find me, Gabby, on the Instagrams at Stegosoria.
And you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Dreamy Films. Dreamy is spelled DREEMI. Thanks again for joining us.
And if you do want to venture onto Twitter, you can find Colin at Pretty Fly for a Half White Guy.
Yes!
Thank you. All right, it's been different. Bye.